Yes, of course, everyone. Hello, we are back playing some Removing the Mathis Curse. We're back. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. I'm fucking thankful. Holy shit. I can
You're
finally.
also the disembodied white image.
Yes. Listen, don't be racist against me.
I was being descriptive.
Okay, truth. But hey, everyone, welcome back. We're here to play, and we're gonna have some fun. I'll start off with our little introductory roll call. I am Nick. I play Kixix Mantra, a glacial tiefling barbarian rogue. We're at a party, and I'm ready to party, and I'm ready to explore this place because I'm getting some suspicious vibes off of it. Definitely some some suspicious looking viberoonies. I don't really have much going on for me other than the fact that I'm following around my girl, who is basically the one who fucking employed me because she saw potential. So, Rozzy, why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Your fancy outfit, though. Can't forget that.
Oh, truth.
Yes.
Oh, yes. She helped me dress fabulously.
You look great. He has like a peacock cape or something.
Yeah. An
Dope
orange
as
tux
fuck.
with a
Yeah.
peacock cape.
Meanwhile, I'm wearing a burial shroud because that's how I fucking roll. I'm August Abara. I am a human wizard with a ghost monkey who is wearing a nice little suit. Um, and I see dead people, but not lately. We'll see. Yeah. And we're with well, not Furball. What are you wearing, Taika? Were you wearing leaves or something? I don't even know.
I mean, no.
She's from the forest. I'm sorry.
Clothing? I could be wearing a very fancy bearskin rug. That would be pretty cool.
Okay, so she is wearing fur. Okay.
I'm Taika Ashton. I'm playing a wizard. Not a wizard, a warlock. Who talks to wizards. Oh my god. Stop saying wizard.
I'm a wizard. We're friends.
Jesus, are you
Okay.
okay?
Trees and fairies is what I was trying to say. And I have a pet fox. Okay, I'm gonna pass off to Kevin now.
And I play Malone Knox, although no one here has ever heard that name. They all know me as Drew Spain. I have crashed this party as part of my investigation, using the rest of the group as they started out as unwitting pawns, but I'm kind of seeing the potential in them as future allies. But yeah, we're here at this party. We're poking at all of the odd individuals here and seeing which ones we want to poke at for longer. So, Derek.
Yep. Hi. My name is Derek, and today we are coming back to Flameheart Manor for round 2 of a dinner, and we already know this much that everybody here seems to have some sort of something going on, and right now we have left with there was momentary introductions in the waiting room, and then there was going to be a tour leading to a dining hall. And as the group started to leave for this tour, the older fortune telling lady, Madame Pertos, she fell down, and immediately the cleric, the preacher had gone to check on her, and determined her to be dead. Although, judging from the time and everything that happened, uh, you know, it was all of 6 seconds, so it wasn't like a thorough investigation. There wasn't any real, just like, oh look, she's dead,
I
but
cast Speak with Dead. Check.
I think for the most part to note is probably the reason most people assume that she was dead is the madam is a very elderly woman who cannot hear well, cannot see well, and kind of seem like any second she could go. So this is not quite a thing, but very quickly to introduce you to some of the people in this, some of the other people here. There is Granny Sweeps, who's the servant. Has basically been doing all of Eben Hartshall's dirty work so far. There's the preacher Verdina, who is from the Church of the Temple of the Moon. Is a cleric. Um, there's Anna Sparrow, who runs a shipping, like export import business in Antwerp. She's a bit older and already probably in her 9th or 10th cocktail in the last hour. Then there's a young wizard, inventor, gnome, known as Giger Plemony, or some of you know him as the Royal. He was accompanied by a young lightning genasi, whose name was Sadie. There was Colonel Bronzeteeth, who's a retired dwarven general, complete with bronze teeth. You know, of course, dwarves are very often, not all the time, but are many times literal in their naming of people. So, you know, call somebody bronze teeth, you're probably going to have bronze teeth. And there's Sergeant Spooky, the only official member of any kind of police force for this town that's here right now. A goblin with small horns and a badge. And then there's Eben, the owner. While Eben seems a little concerned, he's already told everybody that he would have his servants come and take the woman away, and they would deal with the proper things, and that it shouldn't interfere with the rest of your dinner.
The fact that he has an etiquette answer for one of his guests dying disturbs me just a little bit.
Yes. There is something to note in Antwerp. Amongst the very successful, there's a common denominator of life, like, because there's magics and other things later, like they can deal with fixing a problem or finding out a problem later. If a dinner is planned, a dinner goes on, kind of thing.
Okay.
It's the callousness of a few people, but and obviously not something that you yourself partake in, but you know, there are a few that definitely believe that, like, you know, if anything, you know, like the party is the thing. If you say you're going to do the party, you do the party no matter what.
So yeah, I'm just gonna go along with the flow here and resort to eavesdropping to find out what's my next move.
Well, actually, I need. Well, I have to ask you a question. You mentioned speak with dead. Were you actually going to try that?
No, I don't have this.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Okay, that's number one. Number two. Something is not quite adding up for you, August. It's your experience. Well, it's your experience that when people die, there's normally something that leaves, and you see it for even just a second as they transcend to wherever they're going. When she fell down, there was nothing.
Do I have any idea what's going on? Is it like a performance? Is it
Well, see, that's
poison?
Well, that is a question that you can't exactly answer at the second without investigating further. But what you do notice is there is that lack of transition. Even if it's just for a split second, there's energy. There's something that goes right, and you saw nothing. Now, the most common things would be, as you already said, that the things that popped into your mind, perhaps a certain spell, or poison, or an act. But she's getting smacked a little hard by that cleric down there, and you're not really seeing like kind of a reaction to that. So she's either a really good actor, or there is at the very least a loss of consciousness here. Can I get perception check from Taika, from Kasich, and Malone?
Perception check. I
Yeah.
have a 5.
The reason I did not ask you to do one, Rozzy, for August, is because you saw what you were going to see already. You know, when the body didn't respond. So that's why I didn't need you to do one. I heard a 5.
Yeah, that was
and a
for
20.
me.
Okay, heard a 5 and a 20, and Taika, or Katie, I missed
10.
Taika's number. 10. Okay. Casey, there's a little bit of commotion going on. You don't really see anything out of the ordinary here, and Taika, you don't as well.
Someone passing out at
There's
a
a
party
body on the
is
ground. They're trying to.
unusual.
I'm sorry?
But I'm just saying, I'm like, someone dying at a party. It's unusual, but not unheard of.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And what something that you do notice though, why am I blanking on your name right now?
Malone.
Kevin Malone. There. Malone. There isn't something that you do notice is you don't get a good glimpse of something, but you know it's not very often that, like, say, clergy from the Temple of the Moon would have a second kind of branding on the back of their neck, and you see a momentary symbol that you can't recognize exactly what it is. And as she kind of leans down to deal with the woman, you can see it kind of like right on the, like at the base of the neck. But when she sits back up, the collar of the robe kind of covers it back up. So there is that, and it's kind of at this point where, like, the bronze teeth steps up and goes, "Oh, look, sir, this is your house, and I understand the way you wish to run things, but we have a dead person here. We cannot continue forward if there's a death here, whether an accident or a murder or whatever. Something has to be done properly with the body. That's what you do, because if you leave the bodies around, then you end up with disease and more zombies
Zombies. Ghouls.
Yeah, and then your party is just shot, because then you just have to kill everybody by driving silver stakes through their hearts, and it's just, I just don't have enough for the entire.
She's not
room.
dead yet. Anyway,
You don't think so? But the cleric here is saying she is.
she's not. I mean, she may be like hit by a spell or like fake dead, or there might be some sort of poison thing going on, but she's not dead. I just know.
Try animating her to find out.
I could.
So
Actually. Let me see.
For all of you, the group as a whole, you see a momentary kind of anger pass over the preacher's face, like this moment of you don't know quite if it's like I've said something, I know what I'm talking about, why are you trying to step over what I'm saying, or you found out something or whatever. It's momentary, and she goes back to it, goes back to looking down at the body, and stands back up. And she's like, look, okay, I've done what I can do. uh, all of you seem to think you know better, so why don't I step back and let you deal with this?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you. I just
It's
have a sense for these things.
yes.
Sometimes.
I'm sure.
Okay.
And she,
Well, Arcana check. Fuck this bitch.
sure.
Stupid bitch. That's not gonna be a very good one. Let's see. 14.
You know, using your knowledge of Arcana and everything, you kind of check over the body to look for like those sheer signs that like it's under a stasis spell or something like that, and there's really nothing to kind of indicate a magical intervention has. At the same time, Taika, when the cleric backs off from this whole discussion, takes a step by you, you smell it's a scent. It smells, it's a lot kind of like very salty ham
That's fucking nasty.
that come off of this woman as she steps by. Now,
Bitch, why you smell like meat?
the other thing that comes from it though is the second you have that smell, it does initially, smell like very salty ham, but you connect it to something else.
Salty spam.
No, a there are several roots that when several roots of northern plants that when they are taken and ground and pulverized, they get kind of a meaty smell to them, and they make a paste. And this paste, um, like some of the natives in those areas will use the paste around the window seals to keep out animals because it stuns and paralyzes animals.
But it smells like meat. That has to
But
be confusing for many, many animals.
so what it is that it's that those ones that are so close and feel like confident to be close to this house, they smell this meat, they go up for the thing and they get this paste. They lick the paste because it smells and kind of has this kind of meaty thing to it, and then they're paralyzed. So then the next morning you just walk out and you grab them by their tail and, well, realistically,
No. No.
realistically, you perhaps would relocate them.
Right.
But you know that you know and understanding that many people, yes, they do get cooked or they do get just killed and tossed somewhere or whatever. It's not a.
Well, what would be the better thing to check? Wisdom or not wisdom? Medicine or nature? In that case.
Whatever's the higher stat.
Actually, okay. Here's the question: do you wanna, if you want to examine the woman, if you want to try to recall some more facts about it that might be able to link just from the smell alone to something else, then nature. But I think if you're going to do the investigation, like maybe to see if it's, if it was poisoning or whatever, medicine's a better option for that.
Liquor. Does she smell like ham? Does she taste like ham?
I'm not licking anybody.
What if people generally taste like?
Ham.
Salt.
Doesn't everything taste like chicken?
Even ham.
I'm gonna
They
roll
don't.
from nature.
Okay.
10. Yikes.
Not bad.
Okay. So here's the deal. You don't know exactly how much it would take. Like, I mean, you have a general idea that a very small amount will numb like smaller creatures, a larger amount for some of the larger predators. So you have really no idea how much it would take to drop a human.
Check
Which,
the hors d'oeuvres.
but you do know by its very nature, it would have to be. It's kind of. Uh, it acts faster if ingested. It can be a contact poison, but it takes longer to work through the system, like through the skin as a barrier.
Okay.
So if someone is smelling of it, then it's very likely that they've had it
Was
in
she
their
eating
hands.
Was she eating or drinking anything when we talked to her?
She was just kind of staring ahead when you guys got there and talked to her. She was deaf, so she couldn't really answer you guys.
Horrible woman.
But
I heard we didn't like her.
there were not any empty cups or anything around her, so it didn't look like she was actually eating. You would have to say that if someone still had that smell kind of on their hand or like on their body, they probably applied it like recently to something.
Wasn't she knitting? Could I like look at her knitting or crocheting whatever's?
Yep. Okay. And while you guys are starting to investigate this, Bronze Tooth, Sergeant Spooky, the great Goblin Sergeant Spooky, and the others have just kind of stepped aside, and they're having this big discussion about how death is an inconvenience to them because they should be now sitting down for their first course, and now they're dealing with the young gnomes. Like, but look, they're experts in their field. Let them just do what they're doing, and we can come over here and we can go back to the waiting room and have drinks, or we can stay here and talk while they figure this out. I think that it is in our best interest that we allow them to do this investigation because
Thank Christ.
adventurers tend to not go away until they solve a problem or die. So let them just do this.
Oh, sweet Benadryl.
So he kind of gets everybody else to head on. And he turns around and looks back at the rest of you. We will head to the dining hall and await results from your investigation. And that's when Evan goes. I will have I'll send a message to the authorities. Someone will be here shortly. We can discuss this all in the dining hall. And they leave, and they just leave you all with this woman.
Sick 'em, ghost monkey. Find the bad guy. No? Okay, bye.
Did you expect that to work?
Hey.
So what you going back to you, Taika and Katie for a second, is when they have that kind of strong sense of smell, this poison, it's often because they just mixed it and they've applied it to something, which would mean that checking the knitting, you can give me an investigation check.
Who is all in the room right now? The four of us, the not quite body. Anyone else?
No, everybody else. The kind of the royal kind of tried to sweep
Okay.
everybody into the dining room, and that seemed to work. Like there was no kind of there wasn't really no rebellion, and no one even argued with what he said. He just kind of he pulled a little bit of a fast talk on them and just they walked them right into the
Sure.
to the dining area.
Now, quick question. Do I notice that everyone's attention seems to be like on like what's kind of the commotion that kind of is going on basically right in front of us? Like, does everyone seem to have their attention turned onto this person or this body? Quotation marks.
Okay, so yeah, so what you're dealing with now is the little gnome cleared up the whole rest of the room, so it's just the four of you. This guy that walked in with you when you first got to the gate, Malone, or no, not Malone, sorry, Druce Bane,
Drew Spain.
as he introduced
Oh,
himself.
that fucking asshole. Okay.
Druce Bane, and Taika, August, and you. That's the only people around this body right now. There's no
Okay.
servants in the rooms. There's nothing else. And you get a feeling, all of you get a feeling that like the whole speech about adventures and everything was all just kind of playing into certain people's like feelings about things to just get everybody out of the room so that you guys could effectively do a real investigation about what's going on.
Okay. If that's the case, I'd like to kind of like make an excuse that, oh, I'm feeling a little bit warm. I need to step out into the hall, and I'm going to kind of excuse myself from the room. And I'm just gonna kind of try to make my way to a different, probably like I'm gonna make my way around to like maybe the kitchen part of the house without trying to get like, you know, noticed. If that makes sense.
Okay, so from where that is, that's going to pose a little bit of a problem for you. You're on the first floor. If you're staring at the map that I uh, put out to you guys before, um, the dining room and the kitchen area is to the left and down.
Okay.
So the far end, the room labeled N, that's kind of like a pantry. The kitchen itself is L, and then J is the dining area.
Oh,
Uh,
so I wouldn't be able to go out into the hall and just be like walking down that way. Okay. I'd have
no,
to.
yeah,
Uh,
everybody also has been kind of carted off towards that dining area. Should be moving right back into the group of everybody.
mm, okay. I was gonna say I was gonna try and maybe investigate the rest of the house, but I don't know if that would probably look too suspicious.
Oh, there's another wing. You could go the other side. And then the left
That's
side is the way they went. The right side is there doesn't appear to be anybody.
okay. So what I'll do is actually I'll kind of like sneak away to the other side, um, and kind of try to
Okay.
just kind of maybe and do my own little investigation from that side.
Okay. Can you see that map, Nick?
Yeah, I had to pull it up on my phone. Sorry, if I pull it up on the PC here, it's
No,
gonna fuck things up.
that, that's absolutely okay. So basically, the areas when we're gonna step away with Nick for just a minute. When you kind of step out, you're in the whole big section kind of there, and the other places that you can go, like anything like C, E, G, H, you know, K, M, those all those on that side, uh, as far as you know, are not occupied by anybody at this moment.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try and make my way to uh, room K, and that's the map. From what I can understand, that I'm looking at is the second one or the first one that you sent out. Was it the first one that you sent out?
The
The
first one with the red like carpeting
Yeah, the one that looks like a
kind
T.
of thing. Yes. Yep.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna make my
So
way to room K.
Yeah. So basically, the red T in the center, that's just like carpeting on the hall. The main area is just kind of a larger hall. It begins to be separated a bit. Um, but so you make it to, so you come around this corner, and as you're doing this, you on the wall there are several like oil paintings of landscapes. They're not individual people, and it looks like just like the land right outside of this house. Without the house being there, it's kind of what it looked like probably before this manor was built. Um, and the other side, as you keep moving forward, shows another painting of four men, and you have a feeling that the youngest of these four men uh, is probably the current owner. That the four men all have some similarity in their look, and they range from very elderly to the youngest, probably being maybe a 15, 16-year old.
Can I
Uh,
inspect the painting a little bit more just to see if there's a possibility that, like, I have a feeling I'm being watched, but can I check and see if that painting actually has like some sort of like eye holes to it that
oh,
I'm not noticing?
yes, absolutely. Give me an investigation.
Alrighty, where's my investigation? Oh yes, I'm a rogue, but my investigation is -1. Let's see if I can do this. Whoa, that's 8 on die, -1. That's a 7. Fuck this die, really?
Oh,
God.
there is actually something that you noticed. Is like the artist that painted this picture. He did something with the eyes. They're all little flecks of gems. They're not actual paint.
Oh, well, look at that. It's been bedazzled. Oh, what a wonderful painting.
It kind of looks like somebody
Varnished.
like yeah had shaved down like shaved somehow shaved like a diamond or whatever to put like various gems based on colors to put like a little bit of like like you said, that bedazzled kind of look to it. But you notice that the second to the oldest man, his left eye is missing a gem.
Oh, and I'm
Put
gonna
it in the
feel
hole.
I'm gonna feel the hole to see if there's like if I'm like, oh, maybe it fell behind the painting. Like maybe this is one of those like 3D effective
Uh,
things.
okay. Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Give me a roll to see if you
Just
destroy the fucking painting.
no. You're just gonna what?
Like
Just
I'm
gonna
literally
grab
just
for
gonna
it, right?
feel around like
Like
that area to see if it maybe fell
that
behind it.
edge. Okay. So yeah. So give me a quick look around. Um.
I did a
Uh.
quick look
I
around.
need give you a
Sorry.
quick look around. You look at the bottom, and you see you don't see any of like gems on the ground. You check along the edges of the painting, see if something had fallen like on the frames and all that stuff. No. um and then you go to actually like look at that finger when the hole, when you actually go to like look around the edges of that hole. I need you to make a dex save.
What kind of save was it?
Dexterity.
Okay, dex save.
Fucker. No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck these die, man. Okay, I got a 4 on die plus 3. That's a 7. Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
so um don't worry, you get another check in just a second.
Do I have anything? Fuck, help.
Your finger, when your finger slips off just like that edge, and then you hear a click.
Oh, wait, hold on. It was a dex save, right?
Yes.
Okay, I have advantage on that, apparently. Like, as one of my things, I have advantage on my dex saving throws, which I did not notice because I took a... Hold on, let me go back to it. What was it called?
It's a barbarian thing.
It was
It's
Danger
barbarian
Sense.
alertness, yeah, or danger sense, yeah.
Yeah, Danger Sense. I'm gonna make another
You're a
roll to see.
barbarian?
19. Yeah, I'm Barbarian
Okay.
Rogue.
Yeah. So you hear a clicking sound, and you move your finger just in time
What?
where uh little latch, the window just the picture moves a little to the left and opens.
Oh! Oh, shit! Ah, hell yeah! I found a thing!
Um Sitting
excited.
right behind this picture,
Why I
there's
paid.
like a small. There's a small pillow, and on this pillow there's a small black bag. Looks
It's a whole cock.
it's no bigger than. In fact, it looks a lot like what I have right in my hand right now.
Also a Horcrux.
Spoiler alert, it's actually a car. I'm just kidding. No. Oh man, okay. I'm going to kind of like cautiously go in and approach this bag, and I'm going to kind of like poke it at first, and then I'm gonna like kind of take 2 fingers and go like boop and kind of open it to take a look inside.
Sneak up on it
Oh, this
first.
sounds so bad.
When you poke the bag, I need you to make a Constitution save because when you poke it, it explodes in your face.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I love when that happens. Normal Tuesday for me. Oh, thank God. That was a 19 on die plus 2, so 21. Had to get the first 8
Oh,
rolls out of the way, but
For a Constitution save,
yeah.
you're
My
plus.
no, my con's plus 2.
Yeah, but your save is +5.
Oh, my save is plus 5?
Uh-huh.
Wait, where do you see that?
Right where it says your
Oh!
save is +5.
Oh, I see. Oh,
yeah,
thank you.
your full save should be
Wow!
+5. Your deck should be
Stupid.
+5.
Okay, well, that's a 24 or whatever. Like, jeez. Thanks, Kevin. Oh my God. So 24 and Jesus, that was
Okay.
Pumpkin pie.
kidding me. I've been looking at the wrong thing this whole time. Are you
A
kidding me?
pumpkin pie. Yes, you
Okay, so yeah, okay. You basically get this big cloud of this dust in there, and you start to sneeze. But thankfully, you take a step or two back. It only affected you for a moment.
Whew. That was crazy. It was just a bag full of pepper. What the fuck?
It's just a bag full of sneezing and choking.
This is why we take Mage Hand.
I love bags of seasonal allergies. I don't fucking have mage hand. I have minor
Under-
illusion
I'm
disguise
saying
self
you
and
should be regretting your
invisibility.
life choices.
Now that you've moved the bag slightly, you see a small piece of paper under the.
Don't poke the bag.
I'm gonna
Danger.
danger. Bag contains seasonal allergies. I'm going to I'm gonna slide the paper out without further disturbing the bag.
Well, at this point, I mean, the majority of the contents of the bag were kind of in the air, so
Oh.
you
Grandma?
could move it safely enough.
Oh my God. I'm gonna cast invisibility while touching the bag. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
take the paper and read it basically and see what it says.
okay, what languages
As
do
one
you?
does.
What languages do I know? Languages do I know? I know Common, Goblin, Infernal, and Thieves' Cant.
Okay, well,
It's definitely
problem
Thieves'
is-
Sad
Cant.
yeah, thieves can't with that. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh, geez. Okay. There you go. Give yourself inspiration. That one was like just a good one out of the way. There. Now, one second. There we go. Nick.
Yes.
Kick Six cannot read this. It is
He's stupid.
no. It's a language you're familiar with, but don't you've seen it enough to know it's Dwarven, but you can't. It's not a language you know how to read. So
Is
I don't
it?
speak that shit either.
Is it from? Do one of my party members? Do I remember if they know Dwarven?
Not I, says the cat.
I have comprehend languages.
Oh, you do. Oh, good.
I
In
thought so.
spirit, I know that my friend knows comprehend languages, so I must get this to them, but not after I explore a little bit more. I must check it out continuously.
yeah. So Well, you know that Taika, because she used it, I think at
Several
one time or another when you
Taika.
guys were together, so you're
Yeah.
familiar with it.
Just say yes.
All right, so
Absolutely.
Totally
I'm
happened.
gonna keep
I
that
remember
in
this
my
very
mind
distinctly.
and kind of hold on to that. And I'm just gonna continue on and make my way to room K
Okay,
Fucking why though?
so
because I want to. I
um,
want to fucking steal shit from this house.
so you just you're heading right into room K, right?
I am
You're
going right into
preventing
room K.
plot.
Okay, so you walk in. When you walk into room K, the first thing you notice is this room's momentarily a little concerning because on the left and the right walls of this room there are vicious animal heads mounted with like bloody teeth, like looking as vicious as you possibly could get these animals to look. Uh, Someone has also taken and done some other cosmetic things to give like the wolf's head like a larger grin, so more teeth are present, and they've
I love crap
purposely
taxidermy.
yeah, they've purposely made these things that now in this room there are also several bookshelves and there's a fireplace and a large table. And on this table, there's a grid system. And on this grid system that goes about 25 squares on each side, there are little figurines in each of the little squares.
Okay.
Uh, they all, the majority of these little figurines look like goblins and gnomes. There are a couple of giants.
Oh man,
And
this looks like a what is it called?
Dude
Shit.
plays Warhammer.
it's
Oh
uh,
man, it's
actually
Monopoly.
Kixik, you saw your like within your tribe they use something similar at one time or another. It's kind of like a tactics board. They kind of set up battles and kind of run through like what you could or couldn't do in this battle to like overcome whatever thing. It
So
is
they are
Warhammer.
Warhammer
It
figures.
is yeah. It
Yeah,
is
pretty much.
basically that kind of thing. And there are several large couches in this place. And above the fireplace, there is a black composite bow,
Ooh, oh,
and
look at
on
that.
this black bow has several strands of green, like kind of ivy across like where the handguard is, and the where the actual like pulleys and everything to get that stronger pull on that bow. Those are just some visualizing from where you're at, probably made of bone.
Oh man, look at this badass thing. I should not touch it because I swear to God, if it poofs dust at me, I'm gonna kill someone. Um, I'm I like that. I look at the figurines and I kind of just like move one around with a finger, kind of twiddling it a little bit as I kind of walk past the desk. And I'm gonna kind of make my way back to the bookshelf. And I'm like really interested to see, if this possibly has anything like how to commit murder at a party. Um, books.
um, the actual first book you find, it's a little startling. It's a guide to taxidermy, as previously mentioned. And in very fine print, it says humanoid taxidermy.
Humanoid. Oh, fuck me. I'm gonna open it.
Okay. And when you pull that book, you hear click, 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 and the doors like bolt shut, and the fireplace roars to life, and a small black creature climbs out of the fire. Uh, as it starts to reach its kind of coal-like body out of the fire. Eyes open, and its two eyes are ablaze.
I put
This
the
thing is
book
about
back.
2 feet tall.
I
This-
forgot to look
And
for
see if
that.
if that reverses everything. If it does, I'm just gonna keep pulling it out, putting it back in to see, and just like.
no, it actually does not help at all. At this moment, this thing is pulling itself out of the fire. It's about 2 feet tall, and it turns, reaches into the fire, and immediately pulls out another of itself.
I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna go over and say no. Stop it. This is not the time or place. I don't know what you are, but you
Okay.
need to stop.
You're like, no, this is not the time or place.
Sir, where's your invitation?
Um, it reaches up. The first one reaches up and kind of smacks you with an open hand. And
You little bitch!
do you have any resistance to fire? Right? You don't, right? You're the.
Well,
He's a
I'm a
tiefling.
tiefling.
But isn't he a different?
I'm a glacial tiefling,
Right.
but let me.
Oh, they all keep the same fire resistance.
Oh, yes. Oh.
No, that's good to note though, because that's going to be good for you.
Listen here, you little bitch. That was rude. And I'm gonna like try and pick it up and like bring it to my head and be like, "Do you
Yeah.
need a hug, or
So
what do you want?"
I need you to make a Constitution save when it smacks you. It only does 1 point of physical damage to you, but I need a con save.
Okay. 18 plus 5, so that's 23.
Um, that there's a moment, um, when you in your normal days kind of you switch to your rage and like the all the blood pumping and everything. There's like a little bit of heat to that. You know what I mean? Like if you start to work out or whatever, your body gets a little warm,
Oh,
right?
hell yeah.
Well, when this thing smacked you, um, you had that momentary warmth, and it felt like just for a moment that it could just fully combust you from inside when it smacked you.
Fully combust as in like internal combustion. I catch on fire from the inside of myself.
Like you would have turned into a pile of ash
Okay,
when
cool.
it touched you.
I'm not gonna fucking touch that thing. I'm going to instead I'm going to let me see. The bow on the wall. Are there any arrows near it?
No, they're not.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my fucking I'm gonna take my rapier and fucking like slice the thing.
Okay, go for it.
All right, I'm gonna try it because I'm like, oh hell no, fucking this rude little bitch, he's gonna die.
And I have one other question for you.
Yeah.
Are you at this point now? Trust me, because Kixis has done this several other times in this game. Have you screamed as you put it like a little girl?
Not yet, no, because that hasn't frightened me. If anything, it's
Okay.
kind of annoyed me. If it scared the shit out of me, I would totally scream.
Yep.
If it was like this,
Because I remember when you were in the downstairs at the inn and the gingerbread cookies arrived,
oh
and the first thing you
yeah,
did,
no, fuck that.
yeah,
If that was a gingerbread man right then and there, I would have fucking screamed. If it was a pile of flesh, I probably would have also screamed. But
that's good. I just wanted to make sure because it's been in your character to emote very loudly.
yes.
And I was wondering if they were going to have a chance to hear you or not.
Oh no, no, not this time. I
No.
got a 19 on
Okay.
die. My rogue self has helped me with self-control of my screaming.
Okay. So go for the hit.
Okay.
Or go for the damage, I mean.
1d8 plus 3. Let's do this. Oh, 8 on die plus 3, that's 11.
11 damage. Okay. One.
Do I have 2 rapiers or just 1? No, I have 1. Okay. Alright, never mind.
You have one, but you get 2 attacks.
Oh, cool. If that's the case, I feel like I need to attack that thing again.
Oh no, wait, no,
He
I
doesn't.
guess you don't.
No, I have two
If you,
weapon fighting. I don't have. If I had another
you
weapon,
have you have a battle axe.
I
That's
do.
not the pizza cutter. That's just the battle axe.
Yeah, I don't. I left the pizza cutter at home because I didn't think I'd need it today. So I'm
What kind of rogue are you that doesn't carry an extra dagger?
a shitty one.
Okay, so you stab through this thing, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
God, I'm scared. I am scared. Yes. Dex save is going to be 14 plus 3, so 17.
Okay, so you take 1 point of fire damage. That's after I already figured your resistances and everything.
It's like It's like bloodletting. It's chipping away at my health.
So you take 1 point of fire damage, but a little more problem for you now is when this thing exploded, you stabbed it. It sent fire all over the room,
Oh,
onto bookcases, onto walls, onto couches.
Did it do that loudly?
Um, I would need you guys, all of you in there, to make a perception check, but at disadvantage.
19.
with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Have any of us actually ever left the first room?
Except for me.
You guys were
As far as
examining
I
the
know,
thing.
Nick was just walking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
but you
causing
were examining the
problems.
thing in the main kind of section of the hallway. He just went down a hall and off a little bit, and I'm just seeing if you can hear what's going on from where you're at.
Gotcha.
What does disadvantage mean?
While this
Like, do
is
I?
happening, I'm
Oh,
literally taking my water
um,
skin out and trying to like dump it
roll
furiously on the fucking fire.
roll roll 2d20 for your perception check, and you take the lowest of the two.
Okay.
Advantage is the highest of the two. Disadvantage is lowest of the two.
While they're trying to figure that out,
14.
14.
Okay, now, so Taika, you don't hear that. August, did you roll something?
Let's see. Are we all at disadvantage?
Yes, please.
No, please. I said. Let me see. 11. Oh, wait. Nope. That would be 7 plus.
Plus
9.
Oh.
So the two of you haven't figured it out. You're kind of still examining this body, still trying to figure this thing out. You hear at best, Malone, to tell you, it sounds kind of like a flare up of kind of like a forge fire or something, like, or like someone introduced, like, okay, the easiest way to describe it is someone put a little too much fluid on a fire and then just struck a match. You hear that, but in the distance, and then it's gone.
Hibachi?
Oh, I'm just going to rush off after the noise.
Okay. So you start to head towards that way. Good news for you, Kixic. While the entire room is on fire, you see also that the wallpaper is burning away, and the walls are metal under this wallpaper.
Cool. I'm going to take my water skin and furiously try to douse the fire because I'm like,
Um, And while you're dousing this fire, the second guy that had gotten pulled in earlier is now standing on top of the burning couch, and he is affectionately doing the truffle shuffle from Goonies at you.
fuck you! Get out of here! You're a piece of shit.
Yes. Yes. At the same time as every time he shakes to the left or the right or whatever, little bits and spurts of fire are going off and striking other things that are catching on fire.
Stop!
And he's laughing, and you're sitting there pouring water on one edge of the fire.
Oh my
The two of
god!
you see Malone run off. Or you see Druce Bane rush off in one
Malone.
direction. I gotta
Oh,
remember.
you're gonna have a list of
Yeah.
aliases to deal with by the end of this
Yeah.
character.
So, do the two you want to follow him, leaving the body here, or do you want to continue what you're doing? Yes, Katie, that is like a perfect. I just noticed that. That's pretty close to what's going on right now. You just walk in, he's just like one guy's throwing fire all over the place, the other guy's trying to put it out with what amounts to a glass of water.
I'm literally crying.
Good thing is you can't take full damage from a burning room.
God.
God, I'm gonna be like Bjork. Yelp.
So, August, you've also seen Druce run off around one corner. You gonna follow him, or are you gonna stick around and try to further investigate the body?
I'll follow him, but I'm leaving Boss Monkey here.
Okay. Yep.
I'll stay here. That way
Okay.
nobody like messes with the body while everybody's out gone.
Okay. So when you guys run, and you come around the corner, and there is one door. There's also a picture. One of the paintings looks like it's been off kilter, and there's like just looking on the ground. There's a pile of dust all over the ground, and there's a little pillow behind this photo. Looks like it's kind of like a hidden safe kind of thing. And you're starting to see a little bit of smoke just curl up under the door and out towards the hall, towards you guys.
That's the way I need to go, towards the smoke.
So when you arrive at the door, the first thing that you notice is this entire door, like, it has a metal shell. And the reason you know it has a metal shell is the outside is like, because of the heat, has expanded and cracked and it's starting to kind of fall off. So whoever designed it didn't do it very well for disguising the fact that this entire room beyond is just a metal
Right.
room.
Is the door locked? Shut?
The door is shut. The door is locked from inside. There's the handle on the outside, but there's no locking mechanism in this handle on this side.
All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna go up and give the door a good pounding on. It's like, hey, do you need help?
The door's hot.
Please.
Then open the door.
Oh wait, can I open the door? Can I unlock it from my side, or?
You can go on over there if you'd like and try.
I'm gonna try to unlock the door from my side.
But as you start to get towards the door, you just are like half of a second away from getting a fireball in the face. Then that fireball hits the door, and you just feel like you outside the door feel this rush of intense heat from the other side, and
What the fuck?
the thing threw a fireball at you. The
fuck?
thing that's on top of the couch, like dancing and taunting you, is now throwing fireballs at you while you, not like fireball spell, but big balls of actual physical fire.
What the fuck you? And I'm gonna like,
Yeah,
I'm literally
Smoke,
gonna
explosions, heat. I cast Protect Energy on myself for fire.
Okay.
Like, okay, you know what? Fuck this. And I'm gonna
Protect
go.
engine for fire. You get to the door. You're just gonna grab it and try to open it.
Yes, if that can be done from the outside.
Oh, I'm saying there is a handle, and when you try to move the handle from the outside, it doesn't move. He was saying too that from his side, he's going to try to unlock the door.
Yeah, I was gonna try my best
Yeah.
to try and unlock the door. So I'm gonna try and do that.
So, you find that there's a key in the door. When you grab the key and you turn it, in the direction that you expect it to unlock in, and you hear a snap, and you take half of a key away.
Oh, fuck me, dude. Are you kidding me?
And then you realize that this key has been cut.
Who the fuck? Bro, this is so uncool. I'm going.
And the room is heating up. Now, you're experiencing something that you just didn't realize. You're in a very small room with a lot of fire. A very small metal box with a lot of fire.
Let's
You
just
are
call
in
it an oven.
Yes, you are basically in an oven. You are being cooked. Now, the fire itself isn't that damaging to you, but now the fact that you need to make a constitution save because your oxygen supply is rapidly running out.
Uh, Minor illusion. No, I'm just kidding.
Fire illusion
All of this is gone.
for an
This
O2
isn't real.
tank.
Illusion of ice cream.
Yes.
Fire
Constitution
illusion.
save.
Okay.
18 on die plus 5, so it's
Okay.
23.
Okay, so for right now, you can hold your breath. If you try to breathe, you're gonna start having like smoke issues.
I'm gonna go back
Yeah.
over to the bookcase, and I'm gonna try and find something that will maybe stop this, or maybe oh wait, hold on. If I'm in K, there should be
Yes.
if I'm in K, there should be another room. There should be 2 other rooms. There should be, I believe.
Yeah, there's a door on the south, and then there are 2 doors leading up.
I'm
The
gonna
the one that you came through, and to the east of that door, about 30 feet, there's another door.
I'm gonna try and go into the other door to see if I
Okay.
can fucking get out of here.
Okay, so you head into that door, and you just see a long hall. Well, not too long. I guess it's about 40, 50 feet that leads to another door. It's a little cooler in here. The air is a little cleaner.
Oh, thank God.
Being able to shut the door, it kind of blocks a lot of that smoke in that other room. It's a very airtight kind of room.
Can I assume that the fire will eventually burn out in that room because the whole room's made out of metal?
Yeah, eventually there won't be enough oxygen for the fire to keep going.
Okay. Well,
So
fuck whoever owns this place. They'll never know. They'll be like, "Oh, when did we ever get this aluminum room?" And they'll
there's
just be
a
like, "Huh,
door.
who knew that we had an
There
aluminum room?"
there is another door down the hall.
Okay, I'm gonna try that door because I'm like thinking,
Okay.
okay, they'll never know that
Um.
they just had an aluminum room. Who knows?
So after about 30 feet, you feel the floor underneath you sink a little, and I need you to make a dexterity.
Oh God, fuck this house, dude. Like, God, MTV Cribs, look at this bitch. Like, okay, that's gonna be a 13.
Uh, is that with advantage?
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Okay. So you manage to throw yourself forward. The section of the floor in the middle of this hall for about 20 feet falls completely down, and below it looks like it leads like there's like a chute that leads down somewhere. But what's a little more disturbing about this is like on the edges of all this chute, there are like sharp things and razor blades that basically, had you fallen down, you would have gotten like ribboned on the way down.
Fuck, what the hell?
Spiders don't touch it.
Gods on this plane. I hate this house. God, just
There's
get me out.
You're 10 feet away from the door. What are you gonna do now?
I'm gonna fuck myself. That's what we're gonna do. Like, I know this door is not gonna be any good, but I'm gonna go for it anyways.
Okay, so grab the door handle. When you grab the door handle, I need a Constitution save.
What the hell is up with this house?
14.
Okay. Yeah. So there's a nice little current going through this door handle right now.
Oh, interesting.
And you can keep holding on to it and open it, but you will end up taking damage doing that. Or you can just leave the door as it is and then try to jump over the hole in the middle of the hall and go back to the flaming room. So it's your choice.
What if I just sit in the hallway and wait for everything to be over?
You can do that too. You can sit and weep if you want.
What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna try my best to uh leap over the hole, and I'm just gonna like stay in that safe hallway area and just like knock on the wall if I get over it successfully.
Okay, so I need you to do. And it shouldn't be too hard for you. You get a +8. Do an athletics check.
Athletics check. Oh yeah, jeez, I forgot I had that like super maxed out. Oh, nat 20 on that one, so
So
fuck, I do
you
a spindle
manage.
flip.
Well, you leap across like no problem. You have plenty of room to get onto the other side, and now you're 10 feet away from a superheated door.
Cool. I'm going to like I knew that there was someone on the other side of that wall, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock on the wall
Yep.
and
So
try and get their attention.
a moment later, you hear knocking somewhere off to basically, if you're staring at the door, Druce and August, the two of you are staring at this door. To your left-hand side, there's like a knocking on the wall. It's very muffled. There's several feet of something between it, but you hear a knock.
Hello.
You put the energy, the energy protection
it gives
on.
me resistance fire.
And you try to open the door.
Is there anything outside in this door that's pickable?
Not on first, just visual inspection, but taking a few moments.
Wait, we can just get Boss Monkey to go underneath it. He poofs.
You left Boss Monkey with me.
Yeah, but we can call him. He's a familiar.
That's
Yeah.
just saying.
Then you'll leave Tycho all alone with a dead body.
I have my
Not
back, it's
dead.
fine.
It's not dead.
So yeah, can I try to jimmy the door open?
Yeah. Give me an investigation check on that first.
7.
Okay, so at the frame, you said 7?
Yeah.
Okay, so at the frame, you do find there's like a small, like kind of cutout thing, and you're able to pop it out, and there's a pin that actually is partially the system that's holding the door shut. So if you want to do something with that pin, you can
I would
unlock the
very
door.
much like to do something with that pin
Yeah.
to unlock the door.
Yeah.
Then I roll like crap there too, an 11.
So what you don't realize when you go for that pin is that whoever's developed this whole system has a backup plan for you. When you hit the pin, it snaps instead of coming all the way out. Like you kind of get it out, and it breaks instead of coming all the way out. But it's good enough that you can open the door.
Cool. And then the room is on fire.
So you push it up. Well, as you push open the door, you hear like a whoosh of air, and like things are still smoldering, but there's no active flame in this room anymore.
Okay.
There is a moment where it feels like all the air around you was like kind of sucked in really quickly.
All right. So room is more or less on fire. Knickknacks and doodads all over the walls. Where is Kixik in all this mess?
He's not in
the room?
He's not in this room at all. from what you can tell, there's when you've come in, there's melted figurines on them, melted bookshelves that are mostly ash now. There was a fireplace, and you do see a couple of weird footprints kind of burnt into the ground right near the edge of the fireplace.
Okay.
They look they don't look like Hicksix at all. Plus, he was wearing boots. So
I just want to. Okay, I want to grab something heavy, to keep the door open.
okay.
And track those footprints. Where are they heading off to?
They look like they came out of the fireplace and stopped.
Stop.
Yeah.
So,
August, little something for you. There are like 6 real crispy people in the bottom right hand corner just staring at you. They're staring at Druce and they're staring at you. And when you actually look up and you kind of, for a moment, make a little bit of eye contact with them, that's when you realize that they realize that you can see them.
Fuck. What happened to you?
Yeah, we got uh, there's all kinds of things around here. This house, and we got burnt up. We were here to discuss something about tactics and dealing with an ogre attack, and we were on our 6th or 7th glass of wine, and then the things just came out of the fireplace, and we the doors shut and locked, and we couldn't leave. And then, well, we don't. Just after that, we just in the corner.
Okay.
Like, you have a feeling they don't like. It went from a lot of chaos to them being dead, so they don't know where the line is. They can't. It's hard to explain what happened after that.
Where were you before that?
We were here in this room looking at the tactical board, discussing a plan of attack to deal with some ogres that had been harassing the countryside here.
I gotcha.
and you are talking to.
Oh, yeah. I see dead people.
Kixie,
That's
Okay.
how I make my living.
Okay.
you hear them. The door pops open
What the?
a second later, and you're able to walk back out into this room that is kind of little ash. You see August, and you see Druce here. They look like they've been investigating things, and as you walk out, you're a bit singed from the fire. You know,
Your clothes are ruined.
your perfect outfit is smoky now.
honey, it's not ruined. It's just more fashionable.
Okay.
But yeah, we're not getting that fucking deposit back. That's for sure.
Taika, I'm gonna shift from you guys for just a moment. Taika, alone. Oh, with Boss Monkey. The just in general, what would you be doing there? Anything particular, or just waiting?
I know I wanted to check the knitting equipment.
Oh, the knitting.
The
Yep.
knitting needles.
Yep. We had to come back to that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot that. It's my fault. When you check over her knitting and the knitting needles. Those all seem perfectly fine. The bag where she has like the extra yarn and all that. There's nothing of any substance on that. But when you go and jostle the bag, you do notice a little bit of a like greenish colored dust near her ear. And it makes sense that this substance, when it like is put on, is a paste, and as it dries, it gets kind of dusty and green colored.
That's nasty.
So, just judging from that, um, someone grasped her on the back of the neck and applied the poison.
Okay.
In an elaborate attempt to get Kixik to immolate him.
What?
Kixik, when you look back, though, that hall is completely in one piece. There's no pit. There's no, um, sharp blades or anything.
What the?
And the room you're in also has been burnt, so the fire was real. So is there anything, going back to Taika for a minute, is there anything that after noticing that and then checking through her stuff, you don't find anything suspicious? Nothing contains any of that, the chemical on it or anything, and then you do find that little bit around her ear and kind of neck area.
So that green dust is related to the ham paste, or
Yeah, it would have been.
Okay.
What it is you grind it down. It's made into a contact poison paste. When the contact poison is used, if it's left too long in the air or whatever, it dries out and becomes like dusty.
okay. If I did detect poison, would that tell me anything more?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I will cast detect poison.
Let's see exactly what the spell says, because I think this is the first time I've ever used or had anybody use detect poison in this edition.
Okay.
Detect poison and disease.
Here we go. For the duration, which is a 10-minute duration, you can sense the presence and location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you. You can also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case. Okay.
That's
Can
really
penetrate
straightforward.
most barriers, but is blocked by a foot of stone, inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. Okay. Very simple. Second you cast detect poison, you basically look at this old woman, and her body is giving off not one but 6 different poisons.
Somebody wanted her hella dead.
Yeah. You easily, the first to be easily identified is that green dust, is that root that the trappers use that smells like the ham. You also see there are majority of these are paralytic poisons of sorts. And it was almost like somebody put a cocktail because they didn't know which one would work. Um, she has bits of poison on her skin, various spots like where it looks like it's been contacted, and they're all in the shape of handprints. And but also she has a tint of blue to her lips, which seems to indicate an ingested drink that was poisoned as well. You would say with all the various poisonings, she is probably not dead, but she is absolutely paralyzed and kind of almost like in a comatose kind of situation.
Whoa.
Is there something else you wanted to do with that?
That bitch dead.
Not yet. God.
Not yet.
Shut up, Nick.
Will she recover on her own?
Can I do a medicine check?
Well, it says the kind of poison there, so yeah, you can do a medicine. Actually, do a nature check, just to see if you get a general idea of the, because these all appear to be like naturally produced poisons.
Okay.
Like someone has a particular garden that might be quite deadly if.
Are they related to the poisons that the sprites that I have with me saw? Or will I find that out with my nature
Yeah,
check?
you wouldn't be surprised looking at everything that's gone into this woman's body and what the sprites were telling you about.
I rolled a 16.
Okay. Oh, absolutely. Now, the problem is the majority of these poisons take a long, long time to metabolize. So, on her own, you are talking several days of her having no response to anything before she'll recover.
But she's not
She
dead.
doesn't. She doesn't seem to have any factors that would keep her from recovering if she was left alone. But you have a feeling that whoever poisoned her probably wouldn't have left her alone. They got her comatose, they get her somewhere else, and they would have dealt with her. It's not an uncommon thing to paralyze somebody, remove them from somewhere, and then do your duty work where you'll be less likely to be found. And then the excuse is, well, she just didn't make it before we could get to the healer.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna stay with her then.
Okay. So then we'll cut back to the others. Kixix, you've come out of this room and you see Druce and you see August. Yeah, Kixix is looking a little smoky. You can now see also very clearly that the walls of this room, this whole room is metal. It was intentionally designed as a trap to burn whoever was in this room.
Yeah. We should not be in this.
Yeah, let's get out of here
Run!
because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hide this, but you know.
Um,
Yeah.
You
no,
don't have.
I just had a thought that, why we don't know why we were invited here. Is someone trying to kill everyone here with various death traps and poison? Um,
Well, it didn't work here, so it almost did, but it didn't work fully. All I know is that this house is a fucking death trap, and I hate it. I almost died like 7 times.
yeah, let's go back to Taika.
Plus, look what it did to my fucking
So,
like.
August. August, is
Yeah.
there anything that you wanted to do while you're still here in this room with the Crispies in the corner?
No. I want to get the fuck away from them.
Yeah. So they give you a nice smile and a wave. Um,
Bye.
as you go, goes, oh, don't go in the basement.
Why don't go in the basement? What's in the basement?
Just don't go there. And they kind of just fade.
I think we need to go to the basement,
Why?
guys.
Yeah. So she walks out. All of you are starting to walk, and she's like, I think we need to go to the basement.
Why?
Because they said don't go to the basement, and that's exactly what I intend to do now.
The dead people told you not to, so that's what you want to do.
Seriously?
Yes. I'm curious. I'm a fucking PI. I want to know.
Fine, true.
Is
That's our
someone
line of
paying you to
work,
figure out what's
so.
going on here?
So, Taika, um, they've made it back, and they all smell a bit smoky. Um, having just been in that room for a few moments, but o- overall, Kixik looks like he's taken quite a beating. There's that burn holes in a lot of his outfit, and a lot of uh, you think just that his nature protected him from the most of the actual fire damage, but his clothes and stuff are kind of showing their lack of protection against fire.
This is what happens when you try and smoke kids.
That's smoke. So you're now in the center of this bottom floor. The musical instruments are right on that rise above you. The rest of the group, the rest of the occupants of the house went off to the left hand side, and the front door is right down south from where you're at.
Um, yeah, if we're gonna go to the basement, let's just go. Let's do this. Like there's so much weird going on here. I need a lot of answers.
Fair. I do too.
So the the problem then becomes, where is the entry to the basement?
Oh, where have I seen?
I mean, because you have explored room K, um you explored that side of the hall, like except for going into the various rooms, and there are stairwells, but those stairwells both lead up and not down.
Where are servant areas, kitchens and such?
The kitchen and the dining area and everything is all on the left hand side. Um, you guys went to the right hand side for K, the room K, where you found that. The dining room is off the left, then down south. That's where the dining rooms would be. That's where the kitchen is. That's where like the servant sections would be as well.
Basement access would probably be near the servants, and um, it it seems less likely that there will be death traps where servants are common. So that way.
I'll follow you guys.
So
I'm going.
gather everybody together, and you start to head in. You start to head down this corner. As you come around the corner, you see the door. There are two doors to the south. One is marked with a servant's like sigil on it, and the other looks like it's just a door to block off the dining room. Uh,
Um,
they both appear to probably they both lead. You would imagine by design lead to the same room, but there may be like a partition or something to
yeah.
separate the servant section.
I'll check on that servant's door.
So when you get to the servant's door, it's not only unlocked but slightly open. Not much. It's almost like someone didn't just didn't fully shut it.
Okay.
Uh, and it opens no problem. And what you find here is there's a small kind of hallway uh, where you have like a wall directly right when you come in the door. It's directly to your left hand side. There's a wall with a couple of holes in it where like looks like trays and stuff would be passed through that, and then when looking through the hole you can see the dining area. Now looking through that hole and across the wall you see the dining area, but there's nobody in the dining room.
And no staff.
No staff. The rest of the group, everybody else went to the dining area. That's where they were headed to have a discussion and drinks. But from this end of this room, you can look into the dining room and see nobody in there. There are
Okay.
seats ready. There are cups, but there's nothing in any of the cups or the plates. All the settings are out. The silverware, all that stuff is prepared like they're ready for a dinner, but nobody is there.
Okay.
Also, if coming in here about 10 feet to your right, there's a door that leads north, and then the you can see
door on the
from
south?
you can see from the hole that door to the south is on the dining room side of this room. Like the partition is here,
Okay.
and you look through the hole and you can see the door to the south, but you can't get to the door to the south from this side of the room.
Do I hear or smell anything that says kitchen?
There is for everybody a nice, like there's the scent of, it's almost like apple cider coming from that southern door, and it permeates the entire dining room, and it does come through the hole into the servants area. There is upon looking at the wall, there is a door. It's just not marked on this side of the partition that would allow the servants to come in and out without looking,
I want to find the kitchen. I'm having
Yeah.
turn to question on whether dinner is actually going to be served or not.
Okay. So when you actually you hit that door and it leads into a large kitchen. There are several like kind of like ovens on the side, and there's food cooking in them right now. You can see the fires below. They're kind of like metallic boxes up top under these fires that are burning. There's two large pots cooking on another kind of stove on the opposite wall, and you see several flat like marble countertop things where there are knives and food that looks like it's mid prep was stopped.
No staff.
There's no staff. There is also a door to the south. That seems to move to a much smaller room, but you can't see beyond this door. You imagine though, like from this, that would probably be like a pantry area or like a supply area for the kitchen itself, and maybe a way outside, like so they could bring in supplies into the kitchen and the pantry area rather than cart them through the entire house.
Okay. I have a mechanical question. If I cast a sending spell, do they know who sent the message?
Ooh, if you send a sending.
I send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which I am familiar. Creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes me as a sender. Okay, and knows it's me. Okay.
Yeah, so. Yep.
So if I send that to the Royal, he would know it was coming from
Druce.
Malone.
He wouldn't know.
Oh, he doesn't know
He
Malone.
wouldn't
Okay.
know Malone.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever message if you send him a message, he will recognize you as Druce.
Okay. Since he's the only one in another group I'm familiar with, what I'd like to do is send him a sending spell. And the message would be, something's not right here. There's no staff. Death traps. Be on guard.
Okay. So the message goes out, and you hit static. So what you can assume by this, having used sending before, is there's no issue on your end, but there's something up with the receiver where either they would have received the message, but whether they can, whether they're either alive or awake or conscious or whatever, they're not able to send you back a message. Which
Okay.
is not the way sending normally works, except that if you assume, knowing the way the spell works, that since they can't send you back a message and they're on the same plane, that they're most likely unconscious.
Other shenanigans involved. Okay.
Yeah.
So explaining to you guys what I just did. I sent the message off. No sender. No response. All of the guests here appear to be in danger. I don't know
Okay.
why. I don't know to what ends. I don't know.
Well, then someone should stay with the guests then. We shouldn't be.
We should find them. Yes.
Okay. Last I remember, they were being herded at the other side of the
Yeah,
building.
which is where you guys are right now.
Oh, okay. So
They
this
were
is where they
heading
were
to the
supposed to
dining
be.
room. Well,
Oh,
you're in
okay.
the kitchen area now. They were heading to the dining room to have their discussion, their pre-meal thing, and to talk about this woman's death and figure things out. But when you got here, there's nobody here. And it doesn't look like anybody even sat down at the table.
We gotta go to the basement.
Yeah. There's no sign of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta go to the basement. That's the only thing I can think of. They're in the basement.
So they're in the... there is also upstairs. But those stairs are more towards the center, and you imagine one of you would have seen someone trying to go up the stairs from where you were with the woman. So the upstairs is kind of one of those things that you probably don't need to examine it just yet, or at all, maybe.
We gotta go to the basement, guys. There's something up.
But as you walk into the kitchen, August.
Yes.
No. Yes.
No
There
gingerbread.
is no gingerbread.
No.
You see there's a pot of stew. There's a pot of something boiling on this thing, and in this pot, you see a little ghostly goblin just kind of scrubbing his back with a looks like a skeletal arm, just like kind of raking, like scratching his back with a skeleton's arm back scratcher kind of thing. He's kind of just sitting in this tub of boiling fluid like it's some sort of like sauna or like hot tub, I should say. Sorry. And when he sees you, you all in there, he doesn't stop doing what he's doing, but you can hear him. He's just singing a little song and just kind of, although not having a direct effect on anything in there, he is no doubt a ghost.
Is the soup real?
Oh yes. No, it's ghost
I
soup.
did not think you were going to ask today.
It has ghost peppers in it, but it's a different thing. No, I know. Sorry, I had to.
That's good. I'm gonna turn off that pot because that's dangerous. And
so she
move on.
So she walks over, turns off the pot, and when you do that, the goblin gets a real nasty look on his face. Is very upset, and he kind of points at you, kind of accusingly, snarls, and like as you guys are standing there, you see her turn the pot off, like put that fire out from under that pot, and you see several pots and pans that are on the side of the wall just fly out towards August.
Incoming.
I'm trying to duck.
Yes. Give me a dexterity check. Actually, everybody in the room give me one. Everybody gets advantage but August.
Rude.
No. Yes. Yeah. Everybody gets advantage but
I
God,
August
is
tried.
it
this way.
shitting on my dick,
I
dude.
tried.
Okay.
10.
11.
I got a 9. Was that a 9? Yeah, that was a 9. 9.
Okay. So 11 so far is the highest.
9,
Yes.
10, and 11, and
The curve is not going well.
Hey, Taika, how are we looking at the dexterity now?
Oh, I kind of assumed I'd stay.
Oh, you stayed with the body. That's right.
oh,
Tyke is a
That's
smart
right.
one, fucking not moving.
you
Shit.
you stayed there.
I mean,
So
yeah.
essentially this whole rack of pots and pans just comes flying at and try as you might, you guys manage to duck the majority of it. You get like smacked with a couple things, and you're all only take about a point of damage as you get just like odd sharp edge to a pan or something hits just at that worst spot, so it does just a minor amount of damage, but it's annoying, but you'll survive. And at the same time that's going on, like the pantry door opens and you see a pair of fist-sized red glowing eyes. And you hear the screeching, kind of like sounds like metal scratching against metal. And you see a stove, an old style stove, pulling itself from the pantry area on rusty claws.
Can we fucking not? Oh no.
Heading towards you guys.
okay.
Fuck this house.
Pass.
I
No,
kind of concur.
Man,
don't be
fuck this
babies.
house,
Let's
bro.
go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Beyond this stove, though, you do see the door that would lead to the outside. And looking at this, August, you don't see like any kind of ghosts around it. You just see the goblin who was upset, and he's kind of just fading away too. So whatever's powering this stove is not necessarily a ghost. So, Taika, from where
I
you're
would like to
standing,
blast it.
okay, yes, we'll have in just 1 second. I will get initiative numbers from you, Taika. Now, I assume you guys haven't been all that quiet once the pots and pans start flying.
No, I think Quiet has kind of left the building with the first explosion.
Yeah. So while you're standing in this hallway, you hear down from the direction where they came, um, just a lot of sounds. It sounds like a lot of like pans and various things have just been thrown across the floor.
Would you describe it as the sound of a dwarf in a garbage can being kicked down the street?
Oh my god.
That's pretty. That's a pretty good thing. You imagine it's pretty
Ew.
close to that noise. And this is coming from the area where your companions went.
Right.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
So I just wanted to see if there was something you wanted to do while they were dealing with this noise.
I'm gonna ask if one of the sprites would go check and see what's going on.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you to do me a favor and roll it. Just roll a flat d20 for your sprite
Okay.
while I get the stats and make sure.
The modifier might not matter with the look on her face.
It's not a nat 1.
Oh, that's good. So what was the number?
7?
7. Okay, 7 by itself. Okay,
Technically not a nat
11. Okay. So you're not privy to exactly what happens, but as you guys see this, this oven start to pull itself out of this room and head towards you in a combative stance, you see a little sprite fly in, look at what's going on, immediately turn tail and fly back.
Wow, that was useless.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to rescue you.
You know
A
what? I don't
second
want to hear
later,
it. Like, you've betrayed me.
but no, a second later, um, it manages to, like, it's turning away and leaving was just enough time that had it been there a second longer, it would have gotten pelted with one of those pots.
Hmm.
And this is okay. Yeah. So a second later, well, no, a moment or two, and the sprite comes racing back. Giant fire oven attacking.
What?
It's like
Uh,
there's fire ovens attacking thing. Like you're starting to have that discussion.
Oh god.
The rest of you, I need initiative rolls for. Oh, and actually, you too, Taika, as well.
That would be a 16.
21.
19.
nat 20. 21.
Now, let me make sure I got this. Kevin, you said 21,
Correct.
and Taika's got a 21, a 19 for August, and a 16 for Kixic, right?
Yep.
Looking at this, I think you've got. I think Malone. I think Kevin, you've got the better deck for a tiebreaker.
Sure. Can we use extra tiebreaker? Let's do that.
Unless you want to let her go first, it's just up to you.
No, it's fine. Going first in this case works out great because I want to cast Guiding Bolt at the oven. Does a 15 hit?
The 15, yes, 15 would hit.
Then it's going to take 14 radiant damage, and whoever attacks it now will have advantage.
Okay. Okay. Has no immune. I'm just making sure it doesn't have any immunity to radiant damage or anything like that based on. Yep. Okay. Okay. So that was 14 damage, and
Correct.
whoever attacks next gets advantage. Okay.
And that's it.
Yes. Taika, it is your turn to decipher what's going on.
And you basically came in the room right as I was blasting the oven with a spell.
Okay. So, how many sprites do I have? 2 or 3?
There's 2 of them.
2. Okay. I'm gonna ask them to stay there, and if something happens, have one of them come get me, and I'm gonna go to the kitchen, or try and find my way to the kitchen.
Yeah, there's a quick nod, and I mean it's pretty much a straightforward way that you guys you didn't really shut any of the doors on the way through, right? You just kind of walking and investigating because there's no reason to shut doors.
Yeah.
As you come through, you can use the majority of your movement. You can get to a position where you can see that your companions are in the back area and are busy fighting what looks like an old kind of stove. It's like pulling itself across the ground, and it has 2 burning coals like kind of in the center that look a bit like eyes, and like the grill over this portion of the stove looks a lot like a mouth. Yes, I think it's going to take you all of your movement to get there,
Okay.
so that next round you can do something. But like, unless you want to move just enough to the edge to see them and then do something.
No, I'll get like in the room as close to them as I can.
Okay, yeah. So it takes all the movement and get there. August. Remember any? What's it? It's ranged spell attacks, ranged attacks, or melee attacks will get advantage this round. Well, at least if you do any of those, right? It is.
Yeah, anything with an
Because-
attack roll.
Anything with an attack roll will get advantage.
I'll try Ray of Sickness, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, make that oven
Shit.
sick.
So that would be
Sickify the oven.
14.
Okay, 14 to hit. That will hit.
Oh, cool. I definitely thought I missed
Oh,
that.
wait. Yeah, make a ranged spell attack against the target on a hit. Okay, yeah. So they're
wait, you said advantage?
You would get advantage.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, so I'll roll again if that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, just to see if you get a crit. That's fine.
Dirty 20. So, no. Why is it blue?
Okay. Yeah. So I need you to give me the. Oh.
I just don't know why it says. Oh, it's because I have the level selected a second. I'm gonna do it.
So you cast it at a higher level, right?
No, I'm just gonna do it as a first level, so that's 10 damage.
Okay, 10 damage. So at that point in time, the oven, that little grate opens, and it coughs. And when it coughs, the flames in the eyes go out, and the oven just stays there in one spot, no longer moving. Whatever was animating it, seemingly gone.
Fucking weird. Sorry, I didn't want the place to catch on fucking fire again.
Listen,
That was a valid concern.
well, at least
So
I
now
was in
you're
a metal room.
now you're all together, and to the south is the pantry. The rest of the pantry where the oven had pulled itself out of. In this kitchen, like I said, a lot of this stuff looks like they were in the middle of doing something and were stopped, like preparing the meal for the day. In fact, the ovens are still cooking. But there is a slightly off smell about one of those ovens.
Well, I'm not turning anything else off, so. Kicks.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time you find a body in an oven.
Right?
I don't really know what to do, yeah. Not really too sure.
I don't know. I guess just open the oven with Mage Hand.
Okay, so you open the oven, and no, there's no body in the oven. There's just 7 pairs of boots. Several of them you recognize as boots belonging to the guests.
Awkward.
Well, I guess it's time to leave, guys. Alright, bye.
Does that include the Royals boots?
You don't see a pair of boots that look like his.
Yeah, gnomish-sized boots would probably stick out.
Yeah. Plus the style
Right.
that he had, it would be very, very obvious.
7 sets of boots, far
Yeah.
more than 7 guests.
There were far more than 7 guests. It looks like pretty much some of these were probably servants' boots or servants' shoes or whatever. Some of these were guest boots, and not even all of them are guest boots. So, like, not even every guest is, because obviously the woman that was poisoned and is in the hall had her
Right.
shoes on
Okay.
still, and
So there's a chance people are still alive.
yeah, it's just shoes.
Okay.
But there's no, well, I mean, if there was blood on any of the shoes, it's probably been baked off now or whatever. But you don't
Right.
see anything. Yeah. It's at this point in time. You hear a thump from the pantry.
What was that? I had to recharge.
Oh, say, was at that point in time you hear a thump from the pantry, and we're gonna stop right there because I just noticed the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, thank you, Nick, for not for pointing it out, but not like being.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay. So things took a very dramatic and quick change from meetings to a murder house. I don't know. This isn't Thursday night game. There's no death house here. So I'm going to very quickly move to the first person. Let them say their good nights, and let's start with Nick.
Hello. My sorry, I almost introduced myself again. Find me at BlueAura94YT on Twitter. Or pretty much Blue Aura 94 everywhere else. The Carpe Nerdus page as well. I won't really be active too much because we've got a lot of crazy shit at work. It's not crazy, it's just new processes because social distancing and fuck that
There
shit.
is no normal right now.
No, there is no normal. It's called, it only took a plague to fucking cause mass chaos. That's totally okay though, because I'm sitting here with my popcorn and tea, watching it burn while I'm just like chuckling. But other than that, yeah, maybe I'll post some artsy pictures. Who knows? Other than that, I'm gonna pass it off to the Kevian.
All right. Um,
Yep,
easiest place to find me is Evil Sales Ass on Twitter, where most weeks I'm complaining about life in retail. This week I've been on vacation and have been able to gloriously stay at home like I'm fucking supposed to.
Huh.
But no, because capitalism can't stop, we have to be out and doing non-essential things like selling ink. Other times you can find me would be back here Sunday night for the Curse of the Azure Bonds game. And Monday night, Oliver's going to try to finish up his Spelljammer interlude unless storms take out the internet on the East Coast again.
Yeah. Also, fuck you, people going out and buying stupid shit. I wouldn't know because I don't work in retail, but if you need to get peanut M&Ms, go to a fucking grocery store like you're supposed to. Fucking assholes. Okay, yeah, no, seriously, fuck you. Okay, but other than that, sorry, Kevin.
It's all good. No, let's go to the still image known as Razi.
I'm sorry, my allergies are killing me tonight. You can find me on
Okay.
Cinder Wizard, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me if you want friend code for Animal Crossing. That's basically the only thing I do. I pop in, pop out, and then go back to work because I've been navigating my new job by working 8 to 8 every day, trying to log sales calls to people I can no longer visit. So, yeah, that's my life. Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. You can find me at KatieBugs, just about anywhere on the internet. Instagram is what I frequent the most, but I haven't had much to post lately because I mostly post thrift hauls, and it's hard to thrift when everything is freaking closed. But I don't know. That's me. I'll pass to Derek.
I'm Derek. You can find me on Twitter at Disposable Idiot. You can find me as a player on the Sunday night game. You can find me special guesting. Well, not special guesting, just guesting, not special. in that regards. On the Monday night game as well, since we're doing the Spelljammer stuff, we will we'll come back to this like next week. But for now, two very very quick things. I want to thank all my players. I want to thank the viewers. I know Lauren is viewing or was viewing a few minutes ago. Great person to follow too. Check her out. You'll often see her commenting on Monday nights. That's the first of that. The second thing is it's bonkers right now, people. If we just could take a second and realize that together, all accomplishing a similar goal, we could get a situation a lot better than we can if we're going to fight about all this stuff. So have a good night. Stay the fuck home unless you really need something, or go outside, take a walk around your house or whatever. Fine, but don't take unnecessarily stupid risks right now. I'm tired of living in a world where intelligence goes the second all of us decide we don't want to play this game. No, the truth is, stay at home, relax, you'll be fine.
But I mean, if you want to
just
die,
breathe.
then sure, go
Yeah.
out in public.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, that's we
Yeah.
encourage that. Just follow
Like,
your dreams, but
don't get me sick. I'm in a high risk group. Don't get my mom sick. She's in a high risk group. I'm working very hard to do the things that I need to do to keep my family and your families healthy, not passing it on my end. Please just do the end. And I know everybody's worried about things, but the sooner we fall in line about getting together on this aspect, then the sooner we can get back to rebuilding what we've been doing. So stay safe, stay happy, and I'm gone. Have a good night.
all right, have
Shut
a
it
great night,
down.
everyone.